Brave souls, welcome. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, the GM of many characters but one voice, and tonight we are doing some Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. We're back tonight with the episode, with part 2 of. Let me try that again. We are back tonight with the episode Qulpu, juHDaq, yIleH. Part 2. So as we're getting in here, we'll be playing with most of the cast. The player Ray could not make it tonight, so no updates from Woe, I'm afraid. But we will quickly recap what happened last time and go into the session from there. One note I would make above board: for those of you broadcasting, I did hear about some questions of people that were wondering about threat and momentum counters. Same thing had been coming up in Aegis recently, so I have actually put onto the broadcast here, there are now threat and momentum counters so that you can see and share in the peril that the players are undergoing. So we hope that helps you work things out and keep track there, contribute to enjoyment. Certainly for the live streams, it'll help you contribute quatlus and purchase things as need be. Well, let's go ahead and get back into the game. So, when last we left off, the Yon had been traveling at warp from the port of Zethlor, the place that you were calling your home, or at least a home port for the time being, as it was a good place to find jobs. The last encounter there had gone terribly. Multiple parties were interested in the Yon and performed an ambush. This has left you down quite a few members of the crew, including your ship's weapons officer, Woe, who has disappeared with no leads at present. You managed to escape with at least most of the crew surviving, and with a single prisoner. In the process of getting away, you also reckoned with the sort of order of things on the crew, and in the process, TTRPG allowed you to elect your own first officer, one who would serve the captain, but represent the crew, in essence. From there, you set a course and arrived on the planet Mektor, particularly its one lone major settlement, Tekor's Fort. This world is the seat of power, such that they have any, for the House of Cord. You arrived at the world of your captain's house and set the vessel down in the relatively empty spaceport. As you can all tell, this place has seen better days. No ship but your own is presently in the area. Much of it seems decrepit, and for those that have taken the time to wander around, that chiefly being the captain and the ship's doctor, who's insisted as being escort, you found that the city is sparsely populated, that much of it does appear to be somewhat run down, and while people seem to greet the captain warmly enough, it seems to be very hard times in the port. So, TTRPG, you and the doctor have made it into the manor where you greeted your wife, Morathi, and she has set about to tell you essentially what has been going on. Before we had gotten more into what was going on there, we had stopped by the forest where Traven, on a scientific excursion, had been roaming the grounds and trying to find new life, new interesting properties. He had discovered an insect that caught his eye, and in the process of tracking it, came under attack. He was saved, however, by a very quick-to-act Klingon woman, a Hemhoch by the look of her, and one who had just saved Traven from yet another very terrible fate. Basically, no trip back to Grethor for Traven. Not today. So while all of you have been out and about, the only other crew member that we touched base with was Raldar, who interrogated the Creel prisoner that you had taken, specifically trying to find out who was why they were tracking him and get a little more sense of the responsible party. Raldar essentially clued him in that it was Dar as opposed to Raldar that was responsible for this. And while it did very little to allay all of the anger, it maybe brought some understanding on the Creel's part. After that, he let Dar try to have at the Creel, and we had cut things off from there. So we'll get into the results on that later on. But for now, I think it is best we return to the forest on Mektor.
I have one correction, sir, before we continue with the story.
Yes.
Ambushes.
Quite.
On Zethlorn. Ambushes. Multiple.
Very true. The GM will readily concede that you had a bad time.
That was our shopping episode, and it just got ruined.
Yep. So, with all of that, let's get back to where we left off. Traven, the Hemhoch woman, has sheathed her mek'leth and stretches out her arms just a little bit. Nothing like a good bit of like a light hunt to start off the day.
Does your whole planet have giant snakes?
Only
Curious.
Well, some of the forests do. And if you're lucky or weak enough, then they will be drawn to you. I suppose I count myself lucky, she says, raising an eyebrow in your direction.
As much as a Klingon.
Listen,
that head can raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
It wasn't weakness. I pull out the data pad, the tricorder. This thing emitted a sound pulse. Yeah, that's right, sound pulse. That'll work. A sound pulse that attracted it.
Yes, we have been over this. What exactly would you be why exactly would you be trying to attract it with that sort of pulse anyway? I mean, certainly they prefer those smaller insects. They are a much more sumptuous treat for them, much more protein dense, I think, than you. Certainly not much.
Well, that's what I was going for, was that insect. It just, I think I did the frequency wrong.
Either that or you broadcasted far too loud. Well, in any case, I won't be here to save you from your foolishness again. Not with the other sounds that are picked up today.
Then you'll just have to tag along with me, because knowing me, a weak, frail skin thing in this forest might be bad.
Well, as interesting as that would be... well, actually, that is a bit of a note, she says. You didn't hear that earlier set of sounds in the upper atmosphere.
Well, it's probably us.
Oh. Well, then it's perhaps not what I was concerned about.
You know, I came in with my captain earlier. Probably the ship entering atmosphere.
Huh. It's rare that we have that we have guests here Mektor and certainly to Takur's fort. But I suppose if you and your captain have come for some trade, then it is welcome news, but it underscores that I, at the very least, must be back to my proper place in the city. Even when not here, we all serve the interests of the head of our house and the one he who rules this place.
That's this planet, right? So you're talking about Tabok, Captain Tabok, House of Cord. That one.
She closes her eyes. She narrows her eyes a bit. What do you know of Tabok of the House of Cord?
Oh, we're best buds. Yeah, I would say we've been friends ever since he freed me from capture. I love him. He basically came in and was like, "I want to cook, so I'm gonna take a cook." Yeah, that's been his attitude most of the adventure.
You are not like
Saved my life a few times.
You are not quite like any Jegpui I have seen before. You say that our Lord Tabok has saved you out of either some combination of generosity, of seeing some sort of honor in you, or at least admiring your skills as a cook. How skilled are you truly in these culinary arts?
I am, from what I have seen, the best cook in Klingon space.
That is quite a claim there. Now, does this best cook in Klingon space have a name with which he proclaims that challenge?
I am Traven Lex.
Well, Traven Lex, servant of Tabok of the House of Cord, tell me, what do you think that your captain, lord, and master would say to you being out here with no protection whatsoever from the elements in the wild?
He would not be surprised.
Oh, you are a foolish one, but suppose you fight battle in your own way of your own sort. Well, speaking for myself, I would like to think I know just a little better about this captain and the lord of this keep, and I, for one, have no plans of disappointing him. She makes sure the mek'leth is secure before starting to wander away from the edge of the forest. You would do well not to wait here too long, Traven Lex. Where one of those serpents lies, more unlikely to follow, especially when they hear of such a rich and sumptuous meal as they think that you were.
You know, that's the best thing a woman's called me in about 5 years. I'm gonna follow you to the city, because I feel like if I go by myself, I might die. And you can tell me all the juicy deets you know about my captain.
I would not betray his confidence, and you will not be following my route.
Oh.
For you, would slow me down. I can take a more direct route that would cut through some of the harsher terrain. You can go back through the clearing.
Can't blame a guy for trying. I guess I'll see you in the city, maybe?
Unlikely. But we will see. With that,
maybe fate will bring us together once more.
She chuckles a little bit at that before shaking her head and starting to walk off, kind of hugging a line nearer the tree line, but that could still take her through bits of wooded area. But she will move at quite a fast pace, very deftly navigating through bramble, through stone, and other downed bits of the forest floor. Someone very clearly much more familiar with the wilderness. But yes, she leaves you alone.
I'll see her again. Wait, I can see the signs. I'll see her again. I'm running out of the clearing. I'm definitely leaving Snake area.
Yep. Yep. Some sort of creature was beginning to stir in the distance, and yeah, it's a quick retreat for you, Traven, out of the forest.
Out of the woods.
Yes. And back before the captain notices. So let's run things around. This actually would be an opportunity, and so before we get too deep into things, I want to suss out some stuff. Obviously, Joe, you were out in the last session, so if you would like, we could have something where we check in on where Azek presently is, and then if you and Sean would like, we could do the scene between the two of you that like Tabak had wanted to meet with you after you became first officer, so we could have a theater of the mind scene with the two of you. Would that be something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, if the captain's interested in it. Otherwise, I was just going to be on the ship making repairs.
I am good for a flashback scene.
Very good. Then let us get some things set up here for that sequence. So, Azek, let's cut up to the. Let's start on the present day first. So, let me just get you positioned properly. Would you be working anywhere in particular? Would you want to be in the bridge, in the engine room? How would you prefer to start off?
I would probably be on the bridge, working with Vopry on making sure that all the sensors are working properly.
Okay. I will get that situated.
We did kind of start jury rigging things after the lockdown, and I'm wanting to make sure everything's back up and running to peak.
Understood. One other question, and this one's actually directed at you, Sean. Since you are on the planet now, remind me, would you have taken Cheshire with you from the ship, or would you have let the cat out, or brought it with you?
Let the cat out of the yam.
Precisely. Would you have brought her with you to the...
Yeah, no, I would have brought her. I'm pretty sure as soon as she caught a whiff of the atmosphere, she would have come running out of the bridge to the elevator anyway.
Fair enough. Just making sure that she is not on the bridge. Okay.
Yep.
So, then let's put the crew on the set. All right. So, we start off then. Azek, you, Vopry, and in the background, muttering under his own breath, Croker, are on the bridge. Vopry, together with you, have been poring over sensor diagnostics. The ship is otherwise mostly powered down at this point, as it is currently being refueled and repaired. As you speak, you can hear the clattering of work as hull plating is being latched on to sections where it needed replaced, and there's a general sort of busy atmosphere outside. On the bridge, the pace is much more sedate and indeed much more quiet. This is about the sparsest as it's been kept, for the absence of most of the officers and other regular crew, some who simply did not survive the trip away from Zethlor, others who have left. Indeed, even Cheshire has left the bridge and leaves the captain's seat uncharacteristically unoccupied. Well, as the sensor telemetry is in the test mode that I am currently running is reasonably steady. I may need to leave the post in order to more closely examine some of the sensor palettes, but those I believe I can access through from other sections.
Do what you can, Vopri. I appreciate the hard work on this. Let me know what I can do to help out, and we'll get these sensors back to tip top shape.
Certainly, I will work as efficiently as possible. I do not wish to pose too much inconvenience in your role as the first officer.
So far it's been pretty good, but I still have a lot to learn, and good thing I've got the captain to learn from.
Indeed. Now, I heard there was back in the day before Calvec purchased my services. There was a joke among some Klingons from from some of the outer border colonies, something about teaching an old Targ no tricks. I am sure that you could learn much that you do not anything that you do not already have. And Vopri, his mouth corners, the corners of his mouth pull up just very slightly. It is the closest thing to like the hint of it is the barest hint of a grin. It is the closest thing to a smile as he has given you.
I appreciate that, Vopri. I know age is coming for me fast, but I aim to make a legacy, and I hope my aim is true. As true as these sensors will be.
Yes. I will set up another diagnostic and I will go examine some of the pallets closer. And tip his head in a bit of a nod before leaving the seat and making to walk away from the bridge so that he can conduct his work. As Vopri steps away, Azek, that thinking of what this seat as first officer might do for you takes you back to some days earlier, after deliberation amongst the crew had yielded the result that placed you here, their decision to elect you as the first officer of the On. And that moment afterwards, when with the crew's decision made plain to TTRPG, you had been invited by the captain to have a conversation in his quarters, like the office area. I do not recall whether they are one and the same here. GM is having a moment, but
No, office and quarters are two separate places.
gotcha. Then we'll put it in the office. Either way, we are going for theater of the mind in this instance, so let us first make sure that you are properly there and bring TTRPG up. So,
Captain, you wish to see me?
Yes. As you are now officially the first officer, I need to make adjustments to my safety protocols. Meaning, if I'm not on board, you, as first officer, need to have a way of delaying my protection protocols from taking effect.
A wise choice.
Well, if I were to be captured again, unfortunate as that was, it would certainly make it easier for you to find me if the ship weren't grounded. Note also that the ship will only go lockdown when it's on the ground. So we need to
improve our transporters so we could use them more often. Then I'd think.
Well, we have our cargo transporters and the one transporter pad, but the cargo transporter, somebody decided to beat the soul out of our transporter system physically. Won't mention any names. Whoa. But updating the transporters and getting enough spare parts is something we're going to have to work on later. So what we're going to do now is you will establish a code with the computer and with my programs that will delay the shutdown series should I not be available to do it myself. It was an unfortunate bit of timing. My shutdowns are supposed to enact within 1 day of me no longer being on board the ship. I simply hadn't entered my code before I left when we were on Zephlor. I was a little distracted.
Understandable.
So, computer, access file TTRPG 1005. Accept new input from First Officer Azek Korg. Accept his passcode as a temporary suspension of shutdown protocols. Azek.
Computer recognize Azek Korg. Activation code cluck cluck. I'm a duck. Confirmed.
That will give you an extra 24 hours.
Should be plenty of time to find you.
Hopefully. Mr. GM.
Hold on a second.
Hold on a moment. Mr. GM.
I'm here.
Yep. I don't remember. Oh, I don't feel bad about this. I don't remember what a standard day is for Klingons. I don't, because it would be one Klingon day, not
Oh.
necessarily 24 hours.
That would be the equivalent of 20 Terran hours.
20. All right. It gives you 20 hours additional. And you can enter your code up to 4 times. So you
Strictly
essentially have
speaking,
80 additional hours.
makes sense. Strictly speaking, hypothetical, and this is very hypothetical. If something were to happen to you permanently, um, is there a means by which we can disable this for good?
If I'm dead, the yawn no longer has a purpose. Find some place nice to land and walk away.
Seems like such a waste for a wonderful ship, but I completely understand.
If I am dead, there is no reason. There is no. The ship has no purpose. The ship's purpose right now is to help me revitalize my house. If I am dead, there is no revitalizing my house.
It could always live on as part of your house. I'm sure there are other family members who could take the lead of it.
There's Isaac. There's nothing left. I raided my house's coffers to get this thing flying. What monies we have made have simply brought me back out of the red to where I started.
Then, Captain, by my right hand of vengeance.
Real quick, is that the arm you still have?
No, the one that's missing.
That
The whatever we can do to help raise your family's legacy. I know you have more than once, many times, helped this crew out of sticky situations, and I have come to call you kin. I wouldn't say brother just yet, but you are definitely kin. Um, so whatever happened, and as someone who doesn't have a house or a family anymore, um, I completely um, I pledge that we're gonna do what we can to help your house out.
means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, First Officer Isaac Korg.
Indeed.
Now, blood wine. And he goes over to one of the storage cabinets, pulls out a modest small cask. I have been saving this. And 2 mugs, tunk, 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 on the table. Pops the seal, fills both mugs to the yarn and the survival of my house. And shares the blood wine.
Kapla.
Hopla. The screen goes all ripply. We come back to him on the bridge.
Yep.
While I'm on the bridge, the scene comes back with me on the bridge, and I'm running the what is that? A roller tape across the captain's chair to get all the fur off of it.
Indeed. It is a duty you did not expect when you came into this position, but it is a noble one, an honorable one. At least so you tell yourself. And just
You really need to get like a a fur liner for this thing, so when we sit down in comfort. We don't know that there's Cheshire fur in it.
Yeah. A voice comes from the back of the bridge. He didn't know about it, and you didn't have to deal with it before because I was keeping it clean. Croker rejoins.
Yes, you were keeping it clean, but I thought I'd help out this time. We can all share in the duties of the bridge.
I think that's more a job for the first officer. If the captain doesn't, if the captain's too busy off with his, well, why, with
Careful. I
his,
I like you, Croker. I'd hate to give you a knee.
if the captain is busy with his treasured life companion, then I think that between that and between your volunteering for this position, I think the captain doesn't need me warming his seat or keeping it cleaned. I'm sorry, I can't deal with this right now. And Croker is also off the bridge.
Funny sort of lad. I'm going to go up to the tactical display and do a quick scan of the sector as far out as we can. I know we're in test mode, so a security scan might not give us very much, but it'd be nice to know kind of what's in the sector.
Tell you what, Klingon tactical sensors are generally pretty decent, so I could give you something here. Please give me a reason plus security roll. This may also be assisted by the ship's sensors and science.
Would this have to do with shipboard tactical systems?
I think that this would apply in this case.
Okay, rolling.
Okay, that is...
There's two.
The ship gets 1 die, right?
It does get a single d20 with always having a focus, and that is 3 successes. So,
For those watching, if anybody's coming in from Dungeons and Dragons, remember that Star Trek Adventures, the 2d20 system, is a roll low system. So we want to roll, basically, the lower you roll, the better you got. And you start with 2d20. You can purchase more as you progress through the story and stuff. But yeah, it's one of the unique features of Star Trek Adventures in the 2d20 system.
indeed. So, Azik, you run an immediate scan of the star system, and so far as anything on a planetary or immediate orbital basis, there is nothing that appears to be in the sector right now. Or rather, in the immediate vicinity of the planet. As you push it out further into the system, you see that there is a warp signature that is just disengaged, and what appears to be a Balth-class escort. That's Balth. Yes. A roughly scale 4 vessel that is generally, it's a very broad-purposed vessel. Anything from an escort in the great houses to a sort of armed, well, in some cases armed freighter, but a vessel of considerable size, and it is on approach here. It is on a course to Mektor.
So nothing too major then.
So far as you know.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them, but for now, I think that's good.
Alright.
Gee, I wish I had some Raktajino. That stuff was good.
Indeed. So, while you are looking at that, first, just for the reference of everybody in the let's see here. I'll drop this for reference in the immediate Discord right now. And I'll have
Oh,
It's fat.
okay.
Yes. Then, sorry, just making sure I give.
K-Bach, your house definitely has one of those, right? No need to be concerned. Maybe
Wait,
even a whole fleet.
Why are you asking me? We don't know.
I know.
We don't know.
I know. This was a joke because I know that if you had one of those, you would have used that instead of the Yon.
Yeah, no, the Yon is the only ship my house has at the moment.
Okay.
And it's a size 2. This thing's a size 4. So it's like twice the size ship.
Yeah. For those curious in the chat, or for those that are watching in the audience here, allow me to display the type of cruiser. So for those that remember their Discovery, it would look something like this. All right. So with all that said, let's go back and actually check in with the rest of the house. We go back to our establishing shot of Mektor. Let me clear this out. Yeah. We go back to our establishing shot of the seat of power for the House of Cord, Takur's fort, the capital and large settlement trading port of the House of Cord. That which the home port, which Tabak holds as essentially his home. So from that shot, we cut into the manor itself, which is it is of an older style, and something I'd say mostly pretty well kept up. There's probably signs that there hasn't been as much done to, say, update or upgrade the place. I'm sure Tabak, as someone as handy as you were, and with savants such as there were, everything in this place should work more or less, but more. I wouldn't expect this to be particularly gaudy. Would that be fair to say?
Oh yeah, I mean everything is fairly simple in appearance, and I mean some of the the jury rigging might look janky, but it works.
Well,
But everything else is don't always have the time to make it pretty. Just got to
yes.
make sure everything works.
As someone that has a reasonable idea of how the grounds look here, where would you and your wife want to? Where would you want to spend time, particularly as you are navigating with a guest here?
Well, first thing I want to do is see my new child,
Very fair.
the one who was born while I was away.
Yes.
Because I don't even know if it's boy or girl.
Yes. In that case, I think it would be fair to say that the children would have had fair guess they would do plenty to, or they would have some freedom about the grounds, perhaps like within the immediate wall of the citadel. Would you say that there is some perhaps green space that they might be able to enjoy, or do you think that you would rather they be kept inside? I'm just looking
No,
for.
they could play within the, you know, they would have the whole, basically they'd have the whole run of the the manse, so no big problem there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I, I kind of like the idea of actually such that there is a large hall for entertainment. Morathi would be guiding you in that direction when you request to see the small ones.
Well, in
as-
particular, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So there, the closer that you get, you do pick up the faint echoes of laughter, something more high pitched. Thus, the suggestion of children in the background.
There should be at least 3 small children running around. The youngest certainly isn't, and there could be 4 if my daughter is there. Because I have my daughter, I have my 2 younger cousins, and my younger brother. But I don't know if my younger did I say my brother already? Anyway, daughter. I got my daughter,
Yeah.
my other kid, the other kids. There's a bunch of them here.
Yes. So the excuse me. The laughter that as the laughter of children echoes on the far end of the hall. We'll say at this point you are still. Oh, excuse me. The laughter echoes on the far end of the hall. You are still probably in a corridor walking through the halls. As established, simple, nothing too ornate, but nonetheless well maintained. Your attendants and Morathi have done much to keep the place intact. Should ask, Kresic, given these, while the manor is of a fair size, there's, I don't know necessarily that this would go as far as utilitarian, but there's maybe something of a, I don't know, a simpler, would perhaps rustic appeal to it. What would be your thoughts of this, what appears to be the place that TTRPG grew up?
I let me interrupt real quick. I have the
Please.
perfect description: Klingon cottagecore.
There we go. What, Kresic, what do you think of Klingon cottagecore?
I thought a king would have fancier buildings, fancier embellishments. But it's nice. It's, I wouldn't say familiar because it's very Klingon, but simpler times that he had before he got more famous with his work on Gweinar. So there's a bit of familiarity and almost nostalgia to seeing this kind of building, but still, he's very much of the opinion that as a king, TTRPG should try to make this place look fancier.
Where's the gold?
Good question.
He does approve of the cat-friendly spaces, though.
Yes. There are certainly a number of. I wouldn't say that they overwhelm the place. They aren't. They don't have the same presence as tribbles would, or in terms of their ubiquity. But there are a fair few signs of the large cat which Tabak keeps aboard the ship, and in
And
varying
who is currently wrapped around my neck.
Yes. At this point, Morathi, who is she walks alongside you, close enough Tabak to where she can lightly scratch behind. Let's see.
Cheshire.
Cheshire's
Not Crookshanks. Wrong universe entirely. I heard.
entirely different cat. Behind Cheshire's ears, meeting with you feel the steady, the steady beat of a purr from deep within the Maine Coon. As it
No, not Maine Coon. Norwegian forest.
Norwegian forest cat.
They're bigger.
Big
They're
ass cat.
bigger than
Yeah,
Maine
big-
Coons.
My apologies there. The
Okay.
Norwegian forest cat.
I'm surprised it hasn't eaten Vopra yet.
It tried.
Yes.
Vopri tastes like salad.
Yes. It is. These days have been a little more trying, I suppose, than I would admit, but it should be a happier time to have you back from as long as you've been. Would it be fair at this point to say, has Tabak said much of his journeys off-world in the time since we initially met or since the two initially met? Or would you...
Probably not. Just there hasn't been that much time elapsed since he got to the front door and we've got to here. So that's gonna be for quiet time together to go over all of the silliness that has occurred.
The harvests were not as generous as we would usually expect, but the Savan have worked hard nonetheless, so we can still provide a suitable feast. We could even entertain the rest of your crew quite easily.
Good.
How many more should we be expecting to join tonight?
Fewer than I had a month ago. That's a story for later. I forget, how many do we have? We've got... Hold on. I'm trying to remember.
Well, you don't need to invite Croker.
Well...
Because that's just going to cause all sorts of problems.
I think we've got 6 or 7 more crewmen? 8? Azek, Bopri. That'll be interesting. Raldar. We are not bringing Dar off the ship right now, so he doesn't count.
Yep.
We
couldn't possibly invite Croker this time round. Ray is not here. It would not be funny enough.
No, it wouldn't. So yeah, about
Less
6
than,
or 7.
Yeah, less than the dozen officers and men that would normally crew a ship like this.
Interesting slip there. So,
I was so caught in plural there that the S's lingered a little bit.
It's okay. So yeah, Tabak says to Morathi, 6, maybe 7. There is another like my ship's doctor here in my crew.
Well, dear, we shall have to butcher some extra targ tonight. Presuming your appetites are of some significance, she says, nodding in your direction, Kresic.
And I would also recommend, good wife, to get some fresh, clean water and chill it.
Well, that we can do easily. Although you may want to look over the filtration system.
Oh, has the filter gone bad again?
Let me just say that your engineering skills have always excelled. I'm not sure that anyone else is entirely certain how to properly uh, repair your handiwork at times.
I will take a look at it before. I'm assuming you would like to do the feast tonight.
Ideally, yes, but I have I have this list here. She says, "You get that done first, then you can eat."
Ah, thank you. I
You,
appreciate your candor,
yep.
and I appreciate your care, dear wife.
The list is, in fact, a completely empty bit of paper. And one of many jokes that she's come to pull on you. You enter the hall.
They are playing in the great hall, are they?
Oh, yes, they are holding court, she says. Tabak, Kresik, you stare across the hall. It is something of a modest size. It's something suitable for this manor, I'd presume, with long tables running along either side.
Fire pits in the middle,
Yes.
and a slightly raised area at the far end for the leaders of the house to sit at.
Yes. On the steps just leading up to that dais, there would be there are a few children standing. Well, one of them sitting over with what appears to be some sort of metallic implement, possibly something meant to tend to the fires, being treated either as a blade or a scepter. Exactly.
Opened the door quietly just to observe from the far end.
Yep. Yep. The oldest of them looked roughly to be a boy of 8 years old. Seems to be like calling out in a higher voice something about the you know how the great beasts must be driven back, and only the bravest of warriors may join him on his great crusade. He and a girl of you'd guess about 6 or 7 at this point. Go back and forth talking about the need for like whether it is fair play for her to be about and to join them in this. The smallest of them, someone would only be about 2 years old. Hair coming down, I'd say at this point to about shoulder length. Is relatively quiet, but seems somewhat excited by this. The words there are more indistinct and a little harder to tell exactly what, if anything, they are contributing to the
Well,
conversation.
remember, Klingon children grow fast.
Yep.
When we first met Alexander, and he was 1/4 human, that kid was only 3.
Yep. Yep. I would say that it's more a function of the voices are just at a high enough pitch that it's hard to distinguish exactly what they are saying beyond the grand proclamation of the oldest one there. So one of them says, "No," the oldest one cries out, "Oh, no, you can't lead the crusade. I'm the oldest here. I need to go and slay the beast. You can fight the lesser beasts. I lead and I rule here. By the blade of Kales." It's not the blade of Kalis. Kalis wielded a batleth. It was It was hair from his forged in the fires, and that he wielded. He made it that way. That'd be closer to a mek'leth. Well, it's still a good sword. Kalis could have had a mek'leth too. The the older of the two are just going back and forth like that, quibbling. Well, would any of you want to make your presence known at this point?
Sent you a question before I do anything.
Yes, let me look here.
Oh, got one. All right, so Tabak comes striding into the room and says, "Great Lord, may I join you on this hunt?"
All three of them look over, and the older of the two say, "Tabak!" and they run in that direction. One of them dropping the oldest of them, dropping the metallic implement. Over the course of this, Kresik, I am going to ask you to give me one insight and medicine roll with a difficulty 1 roll. Just as we go through this.
Any of my focuses apply?
Remind me of...
Xenobiology, infectious diseases, genetics.
You know, something applies there, definitely.
Okay. Insight and medicine, you said?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Whoa!
Oh, that is quite nice, and the audience cannot see that clearly, so let me try to fix that for everybody here. Oh, not grabbing the screen. Grabbing this.
Making up for my trash rolls last session.
Apparently. Making up for all of our trash rolls.
Dang, that is
it's okay. This is on the unimportant stuff. When the important stuff comes around,
2 successes.
you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they will greet you with, let's see, Klingon word for uncle in this case. Tanush! Tabak, it's good to see you. And they place, arms over their chests as in some sort of salute there.
And then I drop down to a knee and gather the two of them in a big hug.
Yep.
It is good to see you. How have you fared in my absence?
Oh, we've been we've done everything we can to keep secured. Tekor's fort is ready for your command.
You have done well, my little warriors. And then he looks over their heads at the littlest one.
The smallest of them,
who probably didn't come running to say hello.
He did not. He actually stopped to pick up the implement and has come over carrying it, one hand on either end. You can make out now a small boy who has slowly walked across the hall and carries the what now very readily does seem to be basically a fire poke sort of thing, as one might carry a more traditional, sheathed sword. One end near what would be the hilt, and the other what would be, if it were properly sheathed, still near the, tip of the blade. as if to present it to you. The boy stands before you and he says, "My lord." But in a high voice to where it is cute and like it is a sign protocol has been drilled into him, and he wants to show you some deference of honor.
And he's holding the quote unquote sword out to me.
Yes, he presents it to you.
I reach out carefully and take it in both hands and say, "This is a fine weapon. Thank you." And what, young one, is your name?
I am Takan, the son of Tabak of the House of Cord.
Khan. Do you know who I am?
He hesitates for a moment. More proper pronunciation there might be Takan. You were Tabak of the House of Cord?
I am. What does that make me to you?
He bows his head. Father.
Yes. And I reach out and see if he'll come to me for a hug.
He will step up to you and greet you with open arms, his head, like his arms wrapping around you as yours wrap around his, and his head will greet yours. Like he will make contact forehead to forehead with you.
Yep. Yep.
It is, by all accounts, Kresic, an it is a pleasant scene, and it does remind you of that which you have missed for some time, that which you've not seen for a while. And certainly, it is a very different way to see Tabak in all these months since you have been away. It's been a very different way to see Tabak after these months where you have been out in space. And at first, the melancholy and that strange change in context that's the first thing that comes to you, but then it becomes much starker as you realize, as the two, father and son, make contact, the son, and indeed the other children around.
No, the son is fine. Is also. Oh wait, are you changing that? Oh dear.
Oh,
okay.
wait. Hold on.
No. Go for it. Go for it. The daughter is already established. I hadn't established anything for the newest member of the family. I'm as interested in this as everybody.
I will just say, I was more talking about Khalest and the Tark. Yeah, because as far as I know, their parentage was different.
Yes, those are technically my cousins.
Yes,
they were left here by my uncle who went off to join those fanatics.
Yes, yeah.
But and they are, yeah.
Yes. But yes, the difference as you observe that they make contact here. The most interesting bit is the contact with the small one, Tabak's son, and the head of the House of Cord. For as their heads meet, you notice that, in contrast to Tabak's own look, that of the juHDaq, the child before you is a Hemhuch, a Klingon of the more traditional look, of those before the affliction.
He's got a lumpy head.
He got those nodules growing out of his skull. Well, because I have no sense of propriety or self-preservation, if his jaw could be on the floor, it might be, because this violates all of his theories. So he is going to pull out his handy dandy Gorn sized scanner and start scanning the kids.
Oh.
But it's okay because kids love him. Proven fact.
As you pull out this large device, you were greeted by sounds of the beast of Grethor. Sound the get the weapon. Sound the alarm. As they back away slightly, all in search of something else. The boy also reflexively reaches for the poker that he has just handed to you, Tabak.
I hand it back to him. And laughing.
Yep. he pokes it in your general direction, Gressic. Not another step, beast.
I understand. I will not approach the fearsome warriors any closer.
Yes, I would hope not, Morothy says. I am also very curious as to your rather large implement there. I am not accustomed to guests in my house probing at the members of the household.
I am a doctor, so
And
I must check on the well-being of all patients here.
He is not
Okay.
sick, and he has his own physician.
Mr. GM,
Yes.
what do I have to roll to find out how much baloney and malarkey he's thrown out?
I think an insight plus command roll would give you a sense of what, like, getting past that. Kresic, you may contest with a
Presence and...
I think medicine applies here.
Yeah,
okay.
None of my focuses are going to apply.
Psychoanalysis? Does that focus apply?
Not so much here.
It's okay, we're on even footing here. My presence is kind of trash.
So Tabak will score.
No.
Aha!
The wool is pulled entirely over Tabak's eyes.
You do maybe find it a little unusual that Kresic has just sort of leapt into the opportunity. And one moment while I cough a bit.
I told you I would monitor their well-being, Captain.
Now is not the right time, Kresic, honestly.
Very well. And I put the scanner away. But I've gotten, hopefully, at least a little bit of what I needed.
A little bit. We'll not conduct a roll on that for now. We can worry about some of that for later.
Yeah. And then I kind of shakily and creakily, because of my bum leg, I just kind of get down onto one knee, just so that I'm not like towering over everybody else here. And
You're still going to tower over the children.
Yes, but not trying to be too scary here.
Indeed.
Because I know how to talk to short people.
Yeah. Tell you what.
Wife, where is Tohui? Where is my daughter?
As you're about to inquire, Morothy, there is a look to her face of momentary. I'm looking forward to this long story, and like a very slight change in demeanor when she is interrupted, and a voice comes from the other end of the hall. Here, father. And,
Daughter.
yeah, Kresic, you see another Hemhoch. This one, a younger woman. I'd say, well, I'm trying to relocate.
Not
the
yet
notes.
of age. She may have already gone through first rite of ascension at this point.
Gotcha.
But barely, like, maybe that happened last week, you know?
Yeah. She seems to be in a. She seems to have been outfitted in a dress similar to Morathi's, and some of the colors may be slightly different.
Kresic's mouth is definitely open now.
Yeah. She has another
but it just looks terrifying.
Yep. You turn around.
not in surprise, but
yeah, it's the slow sort of turn around, and like I can imagine that your arms are up to help you balance. So Kresic's just going around like T-Rexing it close to the ground. Yeah, just you could render it black and white, and then just put in that like photo, make the quality grainier, and have the fearsome call. Just imagine it now. Black and white, grainy photo. He's swiveling around, and out from his mouth comes...
Moopsie.
Oh,
sounds
God.
about right. I think that should cost you 2 threat. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. I've got 15 right now. I'll take myself down to lucky 13.
Yeah.
Alright. So, with all of that, as the children, the children are, like, in a bit of a frenzy now. I wouldn't say panic, more as they figure out how to array themselves.
I'd like to imagine one of them has found another poker and has started to, like, gently poke at me.
Yep.
Lightly.
Yep. Something that your reptilian skin does not allow you to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like 5 and 6 year olds. They're whacking at you with metal sticks, and you're not even noticing.
The young Hemhoch woman, she comes up to you, Tabak, and greets you with, as protocol would dictate appropriately. It is good to hear you are back, Father. I heard your ship coming through the atmosphere, and
Yes, my ship, such as it is, it needs a lot of repairs before it can go back up into the sky. I will take you to see it while we are here.
That would be most welcome. I would be very happy to see to see your great ship.
Not that great.
Thank you, Kresic.
You're welcome.
A most curious pet you keep, Father.
No, this is the doctor on board my ship. Do not mistake him for a pet.
I suppose I just saw him down on his knees there and thought he might be crawling. Do you need
Playing with the children.
As you can see, your cousins are assaulting.
Yes. And
They're having fun.
a glorious battle they are having, clearly, as one of them is like getting a poker kind of just underneath like the lips, or like right around the jaw.
I snap at it just slowly enough that he's able to get it out of the way. But clearly this is also probably the most relaxed that you've ever seen Kresic, because he's literally not letting any of this faze him and is just playing along with whatever the kids are doing.
Yeah, just running around, one of them lightly bonking him and another poking. Is just family man Kresic. He's great.
moving just slowly enough that they're able to feel like they're getting things in, while still giving them the illusion of me trying to quote unquote attack them.
Yep. Yep. Certainly. So, let's see. Anyway, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Yeah, so the kids are busy playing. Yeah, I did have to drop a GIF there. I apologize. Yeah, the kids are playing about, and let's see. Train of thought. Toy Wheat is greeting you, all smiles very pleasantly, and just leaving the doctor to the kids. Dorothy says, "So good that you should make it here in time, daughter. Now, suppose then the family is almost entirely here then."
Yes, where's my brother?
She shakes her head a little bit. That is one of the things that we need to speak about. That she ponders very carefully the language that she's about to use. We have need to discuss things, husband.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Well, wife, let me get my toolbox and I can attend to the filter and you can speak to me of what I have missed while I was gone. Including what happened with Tabor.
What has been happening, he is still very much with us, setting about what he has to do. What he thinks he has to do.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. With that, Tabak, you and Morathi break off from the conversation and walk about the hall. This leaves you, Kresic, in the heat of pitched battle with the small ones. The young Klingon woman, Toithwi, glances to you and says, "Well, I trust the rest of you will do honor to the name of the House of Tabak. I don't think I am needed for this battle."
I will tear them to shreds, piece by piece, now that Tabak is gone. That was a joke.
She just grins at you. I gathered.
Good.
An interesting sort that my father keeps as crew these days.
Yeah, I think it's time for a call.
So, as she walks away and you are left to deal with the children, one of whom has now managed to climb up your back and is, on your shoulders, kind of, lightly bonking you over the head with a metallic implement of some sort. I'm actually going to say there was a loose spoon somewhere that they have.
Excellent.
Yeah. Your wrist communicator beeps at you.
Push the button.
Kresic.
Yes.
This is Eldar.
What can I do for you? I am currently under attack by 3 Klingons.
I see. When we sort of need you at the moment.
What did you do?
Why are you accusing me of something?
Whenever someone calls me and says, "We need you," it is always because they have done something. I have never been called, "We need you," because somebody was healthy.
Well, you are a doctor. That is your profession.
Which is why I asked, "What did you do?"
Well, our prisoner survived.
What prisoner?
Right. One of the trio that attacked me, I took prisoner.
We had another creature aboard this ship that no one deemed fit to tell me about.
We got rather distracted looking for the captain.
Valid.
And, he was out to kill me for, the actions of Dar. So I introduced them to each other. And Dar saw fit to let him live. In the most generous way of saying it.
I see. Perhaps my attempts to teach him proper Gorn values are becoming successful.
Well, he still needs help, though. It was not a nice meeting, to say the least. I am surprised.
See.
I didn't think he would hold back.
Yep. Over the comms line, Kressik, you hear...
He's still conscious.
I think this is the second time he's regained consciousness.
Fine.
How are the kids responding to Kressik being upset?
This might be the one thing that cows at least some of them, although whomever is on his shoulders right now, I'm going to say that it is Takan, who bravely continues to bonk away at Kressik's head.
I'm on the way. I look at the three of them and say, "Does anyone want to be my surgical assistant?"
They stop and they say, the oldest of them, the one girl, the one little girl among them says, we don't usually play that game. What's that one about?"
Do you want
Kressik,
to
are you asking my cousins to play doctor?
Do you want to see a bloody body?
Yay! To
Anyone?
battle!
Well, there is a fight that will be had. That is true.
Is it an honorable fight?
Very honorable.
Yeah. Takan will...
I'm still in the room, right? We haven't left.
Yeah,
We just sort of went to one end to speak quietly.
I think that the filtration thing would be elsewhere, not on
Okay.
or not in the
Yep.
hall.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm great with kids.
yep. The two older children stop for a moment and talk a bit amongst themselves. I'm certain. Takan will get down from your shoulders and say, if there is an honorable fight, then we are bound by honor for glory to help you.
Great.
We will fight alongside you.
Great. Excellent. Will they let you leave this place?
There will be people who will question the children, the
That's why he asked
the
that.
scions of the house leaving the premises with a Gorn.
That's why he just asked that.
They say, we can tell them it's okay, and maybe they'll join us, and they will be ready for the battle.
Doubt it. Raldar,
Yes.
are transporters operational?
Yes.
I doubt we have. I do not think we have the time to walk back if his condition is that injured.
I see.
I have some assistants who would be happy to help with this procedure.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to kill him too. I'm gonna need a whole new crew because I'm gonna have to murder everyone. Oh my god.
Oh, we're doing so good.
Holy shit.
But they are children.
I didn't think the captain would recruit people so young for the crew, but who am I to complain?
Oh, he is not recruiting them. I am. Just for now. Because I need more hands.
Well, you are reasonable, I suppose.
If you can get a lock on us, beam us over. If not, I will have to go by myself.
I should be able to figure out something. If you have something to increase your signal, that'll make it way easier.
Mr. GM?
Yes.
Mr. GM?
Yes.
I'm spending the two
Love
momentum that I have on top of my head there and buying transport inhibitors for the house.
I love it.
You love to see it. Okay.
You know, though, that's actually going to be super useful. Like, that could actually end up being super useful.
That would probably be something that, you know, every house would have just to prevent kidnapping.
Yep.
Or, you know, enemies beaming into your living room.
Yep. So, yeah.
I'm okay with that, just like completely neutering the attempt. Like, this was just a fun little thing because Kressik's great with kids.
Oh, don't worry. We can still try.
Yeah,
but I don't want to kill these kids. Like, I don't want their
just...
insides to end up on their outsides.
Yeah.
No. Just boost the signal with your tricorder. You know, I'll lock onto that.
Yeah. I will go ahead and say that as you are attempting to, you go down to, you go up to the empty transporter room, trying to pick him up, and the inhibiting field makes it clear that even with the signal boosters, it would take extensive effort and for the ship to be fully powered up in order to do so. Given your previous experience of what happened the last time the captain was away from the ship, you might need to... It could be a whole song and dance to, like, speak to Azek to make sure that not understanding the logic of the timer that the captain has set up, this could get messy, basically.
All right. They're too afraid. Understood. It appears that whatever location you're in has a transport inhibition field.
That does not surprise me. Fine. I will come as fast as I can, alone.
There's a collective, "Aww."
I will bring you back something. Maybe a knife, if they have one.
Yay!
Children like knives, right?
They all nod.
Yes. And Raldo replies, yes, they do.
Good. At least some things haven't changed. I will be there shortly. And I get up and start lumbering off.
The smallest one, the young Hem Hook, says, "Great, great. I didn't hear your name.
Krisick.
Kreshik. Yes, very well. You are about to go into battle. You must have a weapon to help you with that." He raises the spoon and presents it to you, much as he presented Tabak the poker.
I grab the spoon.
It is dwarfed in your hand. I'd say, like, this was meant to be a large serving spoon. So
So it's an eating spoon
yes.
for me. Okay, gotcha. I grab it.
Kapla.
Thank you. Yes. And I try to lumber off.
And, with that, the play pretty much continues unabated.
It was a good effort. It was a good effort, guys.
No, this session's gonna have this is the comedic gold for the slice of life episode. This is great.
Listen, I got the last kid that was afraid of me to become my surgical assistant. It's become a habit now.
Yep. The difference is, Kresic, that child was already kidnapped. Tabak would not support what he would consider kidnapping for the.
Teaching them field trips, teaching them new skills, like, come on.
I'm sure that's a discussion for another time.
Discussion for when I take down this transport inhibitor.
It's like, I will take your spoon, and I'm gonna use it to break us out of this place.
I'm gonna take the spoon, I'm gonna shove it into one of the transport inhibitor nodes, and it's all gonna come falling down, and then we're gonna beam everybody out,
Yes.
including the cats. No, but yeah, no, I just start heading to the ship.
Yep.
Hopefully not accosted by any guards on my way out, but if I am, I'll just swoop them on the snoot, as they say, and keep going.
Yes. I think that although the spoon may raise questions, having seen you already walk through with the captain, you would be permitted to pass without any issue. The only kind of vague expression of any displeasure you get is from a slightly younger man passing along. I'd say definitely older than Toy Wheat. I would guess an adult, as I'd conceptualized it, definitely an adult Klingon male, probably old enough to have gone through requisite rites of ascension.
Okay, real quick, this is my thought on it. You remember how old the Duras's son was when we last saw him? Just like barely an adult. That's kind of where I picture him.
Okay, we are talking about. So we're talking about that. Basically on the hunt for that one Batleth.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
All right. Yep.
That's about how old he is. Barely an adult.
All right. Yeah. On your way out of the town, somebody coming from elsewhere in that town, another juHDaq, dressed in reasonably nice clothes and hair kept somewhat neat and back, does glance at you and gives you a just kind of scowls at you as if what is this guy doing coming down this this street where I'm currently walking. Just the slightest of indifferent. I wouldn't say it's a full damned Xenos kind of look, but more just like what's going on here. So.
Would it be fair to say that I noticed that?
Oh yeah, he's not hiding it.
So my usual little wave that I give to everybody, because I'm a friendly doctor. Give him that first, and then see that he is staring at me with suspicion. Someone is dying today. I must see to that. And I just keep going.
He just kind of gives the typical grunt of the, ugh, and starts just walking past you. But yes, it'll clear the way for you to get to the manor. So let's see here. We're at about a half hour left here for like what would be time on the game. So I think that we probably have enough time to at least get in. Well, we could get in a very brief scene if anyone wants something else or an opportunity to chime in. I know we haven't heard from Traven in just a little bit, so I'd like anything if the two of you want to talk. But I do want to end the game with Tabak and Morathi having a scene. So, any strong preferences on where to take that or how to go about it?
Well, I was on my way to the ship. Probably just start cooking. Because I don't know if Tabok's coming back to the ship or if he's eating at the house.
I gotcha. Yeah. At least preparing a meal for those who won't be about the ship, or won't be heading into the manor. Well,
Can't do that.
yeah. We'll say then, at the very least, Traven, on your way back to the to the ship. You had a bit more distance to cover during this time, so once you make it to the area, you'll be getting to the elevator. You see Kresic lumbering not too far behind.
Where'd you go?
With the captain.
Oh, what'd you guys do?
Met his family.
Are they just like him?
For a king, he needs fancier accommodations.
I mean, no offense, but have you seen this ship? You might not be able to afford it.
Perhaps. That is concerning of its own right.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, Kresic. Even if it's restarting over and over again.
That is not what I am concerned of. If a king cannot project power, then others will come to project it for them.
And that's what we're here for. To kill anybody who tries.
You. Kill anyone.
See, that's the best part about being me, Kresic. I am tiny and frail, but I think I've made a good rapport with pretty much everybody here, so technically nobody's really fighting me. They're fighting everybody else. I'm going to be there to try and stop it before the fighting happens.
Good. It is calm here, and it is a good place, but I am concerned. Where were you?
Or at least I was trying to look at the local insects and fauna and stuff, and that didn't turn out too well. I attracted a giant snake. These reptiles have a habit of wanting to hurt me. I don't know why.
They do like eating you.
And I got saved by a Klingon.
Oh?
A Klingon lady.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Came out of the forest. It was beautiful. Elegant. It was like she owned the place, Kresic. fought that snake off with such glory. It was as if the trees and the wind were whistling for her victory.
I see. And what was this great warrior's name?
Oh no. Out of game, I'm blanking. GM, help me.
She never introduced herself to you.
He didn't say a mystery woman.
It's probably better that way.
That's what you guys said about the green lady. Is every woman in this part of space dangerous?
Yes.
Klingons are dangerous. Their way of life is dangerous. It invites chaos and destruction.
I feel like that's just gonna happen anyway with us. Have we had a day without chaos and destruction? It's like
Have
one
we had
24-hour
a
period.
day where we were not helping a Klingon?
I think we've helped like fair. But this Klingon helped me, so I'm thinking that's a turnaround.
Perhaps. Now, apparently, there was another prisoner that they did not tell me about aboard our ship, and I need to save his life.
Well, that's crazy. No one would tell you about it? Jeez. Some people just have no respect, Krethik.
This is the second time it has happened. I'm beginning to think this crew enjoys keeping things from me.
Well, I have full respect for you. I don't think I would ever do that.
Because I will snap your spine if you would.
You already did that.
I'm dropping 2 points. Dropping 2 points of threat to just leave that conversation where it is as you contemplate the uncomfortable implications. But that takes us back to back to the manor in Takur's fort, where elsewhere about the grounds, I'd say. Let's see. I'd actually guess a filtration system was built into a deeper part of the house. Something that gives you relative privacy, particularly as you could both dismiss any Savan working the grounds or maintaining any segments of the area. Taybok, you'd set about working on the repairs that you have to deal with. It's really more minor calibrations and such rote work for you that it's less a challenge and more something that you can relax and do with your hands as you let yourself unwind and or at least be attentive to Morathi. Oh. This place has been is certainly better served by your attention here and your handiwork, as it were. There's a certain touch you bring to the machines here, among other things.
Yeah, sorry.
Morathi's always been one for the wordplay and the slight bit of mischief in private.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. We do have to talk about Tabor, unfortunately.
What has my brother done this time?
If I could say that as simply, then I'd be more relieved, and indeed I might have been able to do something more easily about it, but I don't entirely know what he is up to. Some of the Savan have told me he is more frequently about the town. In particular, he has visited those coin misers and the small banking guild outpost. And the last of the peoples we have from outside of our home, or from beyond our world. At other times, he is going about the what factories and farms are operating. He has checked in with the. He has been checking in with the workers, asking questions of their output, presenting himself with an official air as if he were dispatched on behalf of the house. I do not know what he has in mind, but I get the feeling that he has some purpose behind it, or something greater. I have spoken with him a few times, trying to get more answers out of him, and he has not quite been forthcoming. Any time he does, he simply says his work is his own and something that stands to benefit the house.
Getting heirs, is he?
Well, I don't know that he's quite that far. So far as I know,
No, hold on, wait, Mr. GM.
Oh, yeah.
Heirs, as not as in making children, getting, thinking he has more power in his position and station than he does.
I see. Then yes, that Morothy would nod to that. At that, and just say, he certainly does seem to be asserting himself more. Apparently, in your absence, he's started to think that maybe he might have some ideas of his own.
I will have to have some words with him.
Yes. Perhaps you too can have words with some members of those banking guilds. We have steadily, while the house has been on firmer footing, there's more talk from them. Other apparent loans due that'll come on further down the line.
I've secured some monies that have been added to the accounts, in case you hadn't noticed.
I had, and I have been looking over the other ledgers, and you have space to breathe now, dear husband, but not much more than that.
I also have a stash of dilithium that I may be able to convert into more liquid assets. Simply haven't had the opportunity to do so yet.
She sighs and rests her back against the wall as they start working. Well, perhaps we might be able to turn some of that around.
That is why I do what I do, my dear.
As if we will not be. It's still. There are times it feels as though we will never fully get out of Morgoth's shadow.
My sires and grandsires were fools. The best thing they ever did for this house was die.
Indeed. Well, some of this, it seems, might also be due both from Torbeck and from Tokar.
Yes. My uncle running off to those fanatics certainly hasn't helped any.
Oh, indeed not.
What was that fool's name that he's following now?
one not even worthy of memory at this point, she says. All that truly matters, and that's...
Ah, no, I remember it. My esteemed uncle took his immediate family's money off with him to go join that fool Takuvma.
Oh, yes, yes, and they can go recite prayers, and those that... well, I suppose most are kuhawi, so they don't truly have any hair to shave at this point. They can shave their... any that could can shave their heads and sing ancient songs and prayers and do whatever else it is they do out on the frontier.
My uncle did not suffer as we do. This foolish cry of "Remain Klingon," as if we could be anything but that. I hope we never see him again.
I should doubt it. But he is no longer our concern, at least beyond the debts that he has left us in the Darsexy.
And his children.
Yes. They can grow up in a better age without any of that nonsense.
I hope so.
Yes. Not least if we can not do anything to contain whatever ambition Tabor has. And you can speak openly about... you can speak to my face if you have concerns for my ambitions. As can you, brother.
Oh, little brother. Nice of you to join us. You can't be bothered to take care of some of the occasional mechanical work that needs doing? I know you've had the education and the training. I have to sit here, I have to come home, and the first thing I have to do is fix the filtration system?
Tabor of the House of Cord steps into the room more fully into the light and says, These concerns are something I had hoped that the Savan you have kept with the house might best be able to handle. If they have not been in full degree of confidence, then they could have made a humble request to those that rule over them. I might have deigned to assist them with that. Suffice to say, my intentions have been on matters of greater significance to keeping our house afloat.
And what, my little brother, do you think I have been doing these past 3 years?
Well, you've certainly accrued quite the impressive menagerie, as near as I can tell. Or was that gigantic lizard some part of the wildlife that we haven't spotted before?
That is the doctor who serves on my ship.
I suppose if he serves you ably, then, well, he hasn't eaten you at the very least. Then perhaps he has his uses.
Tavok finishes cranking down the last connectors and puts the tools back in the toolbox. Stands up and looks down at his little brother. You serve this house.
I do.
You do. That means every once in a while, your hands need to be wrapped around tools and get dirty and do something.
Oh, brother, I am doing something. That's something that might actually help us shift our fortunes in this time and help us find a way out of this mess.
which is exactly what I've been doing.
Eventually, maybe before those misers come for come for what meager resources we can accrue. But this you might appreciate a little more. There is a chirp of a wrist communicator. This one, Tabak usually you would expect to answer your own, but this one is actually Tabor's. Go ahead. A ship requesting clearance to land. Small shuttle. Claiming to be on the... claim that we should signal on your channel. Yes.
Tabak speaks up. Who is this?
This is the hangar control here. I can put...
I am the lord of this house. Why are you contacting my younger brother and not me?
Apologies, Chuck. We were not fully up to date on the goings on.
The word has been spread. My ship sits on the landing field. Why are you contacting my brother and not the lord of this house?
You have my apologies, Chuck. The shuttle is still on approach. My Bolt-class vessel in orbit.
Have them land their shuttle on the farthest pad, and I don't care how decrepit that pad is. Do so now.
Yes.
At which point I grab Tabor's wrist and turn the button off. What have you done? And then we get the words, to be continued.
Yep. I think that's as good a place to put that off as any. So I think, this is where, for those watching in the archive, we are going to leave off for tonight. So thank you all for joining us for an episode, part 2 of our current episode of Broken Sword. We will come back next week. We'll hope to get back on we're hoping now to get back on a more regular schedule. If you've obviously, you may have noticed that there have been a few less regular videos on this campaign recently. That has been result of scheduling issues, some health issues on my end. Just things have been difficult, but we are hoping that it will resume a more regular schedule. So,
well, as I say, real life is more important than imaginary people doing imaginary things to other imaginary people.
I heartily concur. And we will catch you next time with that. For those that want to join us next time, you can, of course, always catch us live, twitch.tv/GM of the Great Barrier. We air these games on 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. For those not keeping up, I'd say check with our various social medias in the description. And you should be able to keep up. We will actually have a calendar for the next month coming out very soon for planned games and off days. But we will touch base with you later. So, till then, hopla, have a good rest of your day.